Hey, me, Matt, Killer Kyle here, and welcome to another YouTube live video.
Mhm.
We just finished watching and doing a Simpsons movie review, which
Yeah.
we talked about and decided we were going to do that. And actually, I watched it the third time. This is Kyle's first time,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a very fun movie.
Oh, yeah, it's a really good movie. There's a lot of stuff that you would expect from The Simpsons. There's some heartfelt, heart wrenching moments,
Yes.
and it's everything you would expect a Simpsons uh, from The Simpsons and from the creators of the movie and or creators of the show and whatever. Very well done.
Yeah, so check that out when it's uploaded for Monday midnight.
Yeah.
So I figured tonight we were at the liquor store last Friday,
hmm
so picked up a couple things.
hmm
And so what do we have tonight?
Eagles, the Kraken,
Hell yeah, brother.
some dark or black spiced rum.
Mm. Yeah, I was watching. This was in 2015. My cousin Mike did cooking a drunk kitchen. And did we watch that? Or did I show you
I
that?
think so, yeah.
We might watch it again. But well, he had a bottle of Kraken, and I was like, wow, that looks like it would be good. I thought maybe there was Coke in it or something, but it's just black rum, I guess.
yeah.
So
I mean, I'm sure it'd probably make a good mixing rum
yeah,
or mixing alcohol, but
so release the Kraken.
yeah. I like that sound. As you tilt tilt the bottom, the air goes in the middle.
Oh wow, yes, that does look like there's pop in it.
It does because of the coloration. Like it is like quite. It is black,
Yeah,
and it almost looks like you didn't know any better. You'd like okay, the way I'm holding the bottle, you'd think it was like a bottle of Coke or something, but it's gonna taste very different.
yeah. Well, I mean, you can definitely smell it from here. So
Yeah,
oops.
smells kind of chocolatey,
Ooh. Oh, that would be cool.
and it is 47% ABV.
Oh,
So it's a little on the stronger side than what we've normally drank.
oh boy. Yeah.
Well, the wild turkey is like 42% or 42 and a half, or was it 40 and a half? 42 and a half. Something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, this one's slightly higher, but
Well, I mean, we didn't necessarily talk about it, but I figured I wanted to try it for myself.
yeah.
And this, yeah. So, anyways, this is to you guys, and well, first of all, thank you for 161 subscribers,
Right.
and subscribe to Kyle on his channel, Killer Kyle 33, and yeah, you'll like it, obviously.
hmm
And then, of course, check out our Simpsons episode, which will be out midnight Monday.
Yeah.
So, just throw over here.
Just to go with you.
Um, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And yes, you know what? There's a hint of chocolate in there
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah. So we were on our Facebook page and we talked about, well, wrestling, obviously. I thought that Raw was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, well, American, the taste is starting to get stronger here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, we're talking about the tournament for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I said this before, I don't know if I said it on here, I like the World Heavyweight Championship, the new version.
Yes.
Yeah, they slapped a W on it, but it kind of blends in.
Yeah, it does.
So, I mean, yeah, Seth Rollins won. Obviously, you're going to have a fight on Night of the Champions with Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
If you will.
If you will.
So, and then we'll see what happens. They're predicting that Cody will get the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam, but only time will tell.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview and it said that Edge was talking about winning the World Heavyweight title and then retiring. Which I know that WrestleMania, when he had to retire, he did beat Alberto Del Rio. But I don't know. Do you think maybe he should keep the title a little bit longer and then retire?
Yeah, it's one thing to win the title and then retire right after winning it.
Yeah.
It's another thing to win the title and then go on a run with the title and, have a reign as champion and then be like, okay, I did what I wanted to do. I'm happy with that. I can, leave happy.
Right.
I mean, when Trish Stratus retired in 2007,
yes,
she won the championship, and then, of course, she won the championship on her last night.
Actually, no, it was 2006 because it was Unforgiven in Toronto.
Which is completely fine.
Yeah.
But, to have the mindset of, I'm going to win the world championship, and then I'm going to immediately retire right after that. It's like, is there any point in even doing that?
Yeah. Well, the thing that really gets me is that you have these legends who retire 10 years, well, I'd say almost 20 years ago, but somewhere around those lines. And then, a decade or so later, they're like, hey, you know what? I kind of want to wrestle again.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte or Ashley Flair wrestled Trish in Toronto.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam 2019 or 18.
One of the two.
Yeah. And so this year she came back. Yeah, Lita came back, but Lita, she was there for a while, maybe a match or two last year.
Yeah.
So then, of course, there's Edge coming out of retirement in 2020.
Right.
Which unfortunately was when the pandemic hit. So
yeah.
It was I mean, I understand that you can rebuild your body to the point where, I mean, when you retire, it's because you're told you can't wrestle no more.
Yes.
But then you eventually, down the line, go, hey, you know what? I feel better. I've had all of this surgery, and I feel like I can go back into the ring. So now, I don't know. Like Bryan Danielson did it, Adam Copeland did it, Edge. Trish Stratus. I think she did have some neck issues. Lita definitely did.
Lita definitely did. The thing with Edge though is like when he retired, within those 9 years, I'm sure slowly but surely his neck would have, you know, he wasn't, continually taking punishment on his body, on his neck, and it would have had time to, relax and, heal, and then he could go, you know what? I'm gonna go through with the triple neck fusion, and then, recover from that, and then see how I feel, and I'll go see doctors and get their opinion about it, and if they give me the all clear, I'll come back. And he, as he's even talking about, the one doctor he was going to see if he could come back and come out of retirement was the doctor that essentially told him you can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
You medically disqualified him, as he put it. And then he goes to see the doctor, and the doctor's like, hey, your neck's good. You're good to go. And so he was able to come back.
I don't know how they do it. Like, seriously, he is in a relatively good shape for almost 50.
Oh, yeah, he said, I'm in the best shape of my life at, almost 50 years old. And, be able to come back and, wrestle and, start up the Judgment Day, and then ultimately get kicked out of the Judgment Day, and then, feud with them, and then, we'll see what happens with him, being on SmackDown and, getting drafted to SmackDown. And,
yeah. So.
What feud he'll get into and who he'll rather have. Yeah.
Well, one thing we didn't really talk about on our Facebook chat was Backlash. We didn't talk about
we didn't talk about
no.
Backlash. Backlash was outstanding.
I think everybody that I've talked to loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is rare, because somebody's always nitpicking, and there was nothing really to nitpick about.
No, the whole show, top to bottom, was absolutely stellar. And the crowd was just on fire the whole night.
So I was up at Kyle's. I said, I have to leave, And, this is when Cody Rhodes was coming out. So I was like, yeah, I'm going back downstairs, get ready for bed. Brush my teeth, everything. Go to turn on the TV, and Cody's theme music is on, and he's celebrating, and it's like, what the fuck did I miss?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it wasn't that fast of a match,
no.
But now they're going to have the match in Night of Champions, where it's a fight, so.
Yeah, Matt was like, hey, man, I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna head out. And, it'll be 11 o'clock before you know it. This was at like 9:45 too. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. Because I was like, yeah, okay. Come back down here and be ready for bed, ready for them to come in and whatever. And he brushed his teeth and whatever. And he's like, you know what? I got some time. Oh, at least catch a little bit of the match. Turn on the TV, match is over.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Exactly. Son of a bitch.
And that really happens. I mean, I knew that they were cutting close to 11, so usually they go overtime, but I guess they still had some time.
Well, literally, okay, here is exactly how it went.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, they showed up. Up next is the second half of the double main event. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And about turned to me and said, all right, I'm going to get out of here. And, it's going to be 11 o'clock before you know it and whatever. So he leaves. And from the time the match started was, close. Well, it was probably 5 to 11. Or in there, 10, 5, in thereabouts. Match was over by at least 5 after 11.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, Dynamite was so good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just every match they had on there was good. It was almost like a pay-per-view worthy show.
Oh, yeah, they even mentioned that. Like, it's a pay-per-view quality card on TNT or free TV, whatever you want to. Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, the women's no falls count anywhere, whatever.
No holds barred.
Yeah, no holds barred was awesome.
Yes.
And Julia Hart was still. I don't know. That wasn't Julia Hart that won.
Yes, it was.
Oh, never mind. And then, of course, you had. Yeah. Oh my guys, what are they called?
House of Black.
House of Black.
House of Black versus Magneto and the Best Friends.
Yeah. I think that's where I got confused with that. Because you had a segment with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and then it was FTR.
Yes.
So they're going to have a match at Double or Nothing with Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee.
Yes.
Which, okay.
Yeah.
And, going back to Raw for a second, you have Cody do his own thing in the ring, and he's talking, and he says, Jacksonville is where I spent most of my, when the first lockdown happened. It was a lot,
Yeah.
And, it's like, wow. Like, you don't expect to hear about the other company,
Yeah.
I mean, you have CM Punk talk about, a knockoff Miz or whatever.
Yeah.
But this was a good show, too. I can't wait to see what happens at Night of the Champions.
Yes.
And, SmackDown is, well, now, actually. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
There are some things that I saw on Instagram that I found really interesting. So there was a video. I follow Chris Van Vliet on Instagram, and he was like, do you remember when John Cena had that match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania? And then it goes into a clip of his interview with The Undertaker. And The Undertaker goes, yeah, I got to the arena that night and I go into Vince's office, and Vince is like, oh, you're going to have a 5-minute match with Cena and you're going to squash him. And Undertaker's like, no, it's got to be like at least 30 minutes. And he's like, I trained for, 45-minute match. And Vince is telling him, oh, you're going to have a 5-minute match and it's going to be a squash match. And Undertaker was adamant about, no, it's got to be at least 30 and whatever. Where's John? Get John in here, And John's like, yeah, man, I talked so much shit about you, you got to squash me. And Undertaker didn't want that. It's like, man, we haven't had a one-on-one match ever. It's the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
Let's have, a good match. And they both were very adamant about Taker squashing Cena. And I was like, I guess Undertaker felt like, fine, I'll squash Cena.
Yeah, but at the same time, it wasn't a short match either.
Well, no.
I mean, Yeah, but I mean, that it goes to show you how passionate that he was.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I think he wanted to give respect to John too.
Mhm.
But like he said, I talked so much shit about you in the past couple of weeks that you have to do that. So it did make sense as well. But
Yeah. There's another thing I saw. There's an interview, and it was Triple H basically talking about the origins of the pedigree.
oh,
And he was like, yeah, I initially started doing that, er, working on it, and training with Kowalski.
yeah,
And he's like, oh, yeah, I worked on it with some guys, and I was in WCW, and I was doing the Ace Crusher at the time, and, you know, talk with DDP and how he wasn't too pleased about it. Like, man, it's not even your move because at the start. And he was talking about how he watched some footage from Japan, and Andre the Giant had a match with, I think it might have been Giant Baba, and like had his arms held up and like dropped to his knees,
Hmm.
kind of drove his head into the canvas, and then like how like Kowalski and other guys are like have their have the opponent's head between their knees and like jump up and like stomp down like a skull crush or whatever, and like jump up and stomp down and whatever. And then when he went up to WWE and he was doing the whole blue blood character, he was still doing the Ace Crusher, and I was like, man, this move, I don't know, it was hit and miss. And then, he was like, well, is there anything else you can do? And he's like, yeah, I've got this move. And he's going over with it. He'd go over during the afternoon and go over with guys how to take it safely and whatever. And it was Michael Hayes that came up with the name. And he's like, you're this blue blood aristocrat, whatever. Why don't you call it the pedigree? Like you give people the pedigree, and it took off from there.
yeah, yeah. And there's a clip when I don't know. I think that was the only time it looked that painful. I think it was when he did that to. I think it might have been Shawn Michaels. He lifts him up, and it was almost like a neck breaker type deal, but it was the pedigree,
Right, yeah.
I guess. So I think that was the only time that happened. But yeah, I mean, I have to watch that match now with Giant Bubba and Andre the Giant.
I'm pretty sure it was Giant Bubba.
What an interview was that?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
And then there's another third one I saw. It was Sami Zayn talking about the Haluva kick.
Right.
And how, he had done it in Ring of Honor, and, was running Yakuza kick, and then he was reading there was a WCW magazine, and there was a match in there, and it was like, oh, there's a hell of a kick. But it was spelled Heluva. And he thought it was Haluva. But, Haluva,
Yeah.
just sound very similar. So he took that and basically adopted it as his own, and, the Haluva kick came to be.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good interviews. I'm watching a lot of podcasts now. And I thought YouTube had a thing we can do podcasts. I mean, this is similar to one, but I'll have to look it up. I did a podcast class a couple years ago, but everything costs money. So
Of course.
I'll think of something one day, anyways. But just thought I'd come on here. We would test out the Kraken
Yeah.
and talk about wrestling and stuff like that. Again, look forward to Wheels of Fury, the next episode, Simpsons movie review. So, yeah, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. And we'll talk to you next week.
Deuces.
What he said.